It's time for us to see the headlines across Nigerian newspapers. Interesting headlines, I must say, and covering different areas and issues as well. So to make sense of all of these, I have my regulars in the studio on a Wednesday. Jide Ologun is here. Jide, it's good to have you join me. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Great, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And we have Tunji Abdulhammed here. Tunji, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right. Now let's begin with the Daily Independent. Daily Independent says ASU adamant on strike, insists demands must be met. ASU adamant on strike, insists demands must be met. And on the other hand, federal government optimistic, consensus will be reached soon. That's on the Daily Independent. Let's go to Leadership newspaper. All right, 7 days to go. Pressure mounts on PMB, that's President Muhammadu Buhari, to sign electoral bill. Okay, CSOs embark on aggressive protest against delay, and PDP fingers top government officials, and it may be signed in a matter of hours, says the presidency. Okay, Nigerians have been waiting since this came out yesterday, the concept of being signed in a matter of hours. When the statement, filtered out, and a lot of people reacted, and we're waiting. All right, we keep waiting to see what it will look like. The Nation newspaper. Nation says 2023 presidency, APC zoning tilts ticket in South's favor. Party to adopt consensus in picking national chair. Okay, and the zoning proposal, if you see the breakdown there, the national chairman will go to North Central, the deputy national chairman, North, we'll go to Northwest, deputy chairman, national chairman, South, we'll go to Southeast, the national secretary, Southwest, national organizing secretary, Northeast, national publicity secretary, South-South, national treasurer, Southeast, national legal advisor, Northwest. Those are some of the zoning proposals that are there, but you see on the front page of the Nation. We'll look at this as we get along. Daily Sun newspaper says the National Convention, finally APC agrees on zoning. North to produce chairman, South secretary. National Convention, finally APC agrees on zoning. All right. From there, let's go to the Punch newspaper. The Punch says March 26 convention, APC factions fault party. Buhari governors opt for consensus and zoning. Kwara, Osun, Rivers, others warn APC against holding convention without resolving crisis. And North-South to swap positions. El-Rufai is saying that he was the one who issued part of that statement, he alongside the governor of Kebbi State. PDP mocks APC, says ruling party unorganized. That's what they're saying. That's what is quoted on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Vanguard is next. And on 2023, APC opts for consensus, zones presidency to South, and to swap offices between North-South in agreed zoning formula. And Buhari governors ratify March 26 date for national convention. All right. Buhari in favor of consensus. Bagudu is saying this, and several other writers there. That's the Vanguard. This day is next, and he says, citing emergence of previous chairman, Buhari okays consensus for APC convention. Citing emergence of previous chairman, Buhari okays consensus for APC convention. All right, from there, let's go to the Nigerian Tribune. APC zoning is the focus here. North gets chairmanship, South to get presidency. Okay, as party agrees to swap offices between North and South, Buhari favors consensus. Bagudu said this, and APC won't collapse after Buhari. Lalong is saying this. Postponement of APC convention explains Nigeria's shambolic state. It says PDP saying this. All right, all that on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. And then let's go to New Telegraph. New Telegraph says looming implosion of APC PDP. Fringe parties aim to reap more leadership rejig. Okay, all that on the front page of the New Telegraph. And this Nigeria is next. This Nigeria focuses on 2023. APC zones national chairmanship to North, and chairman to emerge by consensus. And North-South to swap offices under new formula. And El-Rufai affirms governor's division over convention, says matters resolved. Okay, that's this Nigeria. News Direct is next, and it's talking about the 2023 Buhari APC governors agree on zoning, approve South for presidency, party chairmanship office to North, delayed convention fallout for APC infighting. That's the PDP saying this. All right, that's on the front page of the News Direct. Daily Trust is our next point of call, and it says on the 2023 presidency, South set to pick APC ticket as North gets party chairman. Buhari wants new chairman through consensus. We were divided on timing of convention. El-Rufai saying this. A zero-sum game ongoing. Professor Kerry is saying this. All right. That's Daily Trust. First News is next, and it says APC all set for consensus chairman as Buhari sets the rule. A dark horse may emerge. That's a source is saying this, and governors keen on zoning weigh presidential aspirants. Right? That's First News, all set for consensus chairman. Blueprint newspaper is next, and it says APC chairmanship consensus remains our best option, Buhari declares. Says past chairman, product of consensus. Governors ratify zoning, March 26 convention. Right? That's Blueprint. Daily Times. Daily Times says people could have been trekking from Lagos to Ibadan if, all right, that if there, just leave it there. It's a statement quoted, credited to the president. Okay, people could have been trekking from Lagos to Ibadan. Okay, national economy is next. How poorly capitalized discos transfer debt burden to consumers. That's what the national economy is saying. Okay, now let's dig into the issue now. There are two issues here I would like us to see. Of course, most of the papers talked about the outcome of the meeting between the governors, 22 APC governors and the president yesterday. And we also have the ASU meeting with the Minister of Labor. The outcome yesterday. But let's start with the story that is on most of the papers. That's the towards the APC convention. The Nation says APC zoning tilts ticket in South's favor and the party to adopt consensus in picking national chairman. Tunji, I'm certainly going to start with you on this. The controversies back and forth, up and down, in and out regarding this agreement. Eventually, the meeting was held yesterday, and it seemed like there has been some agreement, on how this should go. Did this come to you as a surprise?
Firstly, I don't want to agree that there was an agreement or consensus regarding that, because the meeting I saw yesterday, or that they told us that was held yesterday, was not all parties meeting. It was a meeting of governors and the president. So I don't see how that could be said to be a meeting that have resolved the issues, because the governors are not the only members of the party. They are not the only stakeholders of the party. They are not the only people in the party. So their decision cannot be binding until other people accept and agree that, look, this what they have agreed is in line with what we are thinking. Then I can say, hooray. But as it is today, I will still be waiting, cross my hands, and see whether or not that would be acceptable.
All right. But the point there is, one would say that the governors are the leaders of their party, of the party within their states, and one cannot take away the amount of influence they wield on the party structure.
Yes, I agree with you. They weigh a lot of influence on the party issue, and that's why they've been having this problem of a shifting of the convention, not just because people are complaining that they're not being carried along, that it's only been taken by the governor, that they are the one taking decisions, and they are not allowing people to make a valuable contribution to it, and they are seeing it as an attempt by the governors to hijack everything and do it. So, and that's what yes, I agree. They have the influence, but they are not the only member of the party. They have other people in the party. You see, the APC they've been showing a character that's not good for me, in the sense that, look, they've not been showing that they know how to resolve internal crisis. You can see the convention was fixed for 26th of February. It's been changed to 26. I'm still crossing my hand to see whether or not that will also hold, because when you don't do the right thing, you tend to falter. Because the excuse they gave that time, it baffles me, because it shows why we are where we are. Because if a party, a ruling party, can tell you that, look, we just realized by our law that we're supposed to have held congresses before now. What are they talking about? Was it yesterday they started the preparation?
Okay.
So I think they should sit tight and then think properly.
Okay. Now, Jide, this issue that we are seeing right here, the meeting yesterday between the governors and the president, came up with some resolutions, some definite resolution. The party chairman go to the North, Presidency go to the South, and swap all the other existing posts within the party and all of that. Should these things not be a given? It is a given. Should it be something that you would have been going back and forth until a meeting of that nature had to be held?
Naturally, it should have been given. But with the circumstances we have in the country and the way politics is played, you hardly see this proactive approach of preparing and organizing ahead. But I can let you know that by the doctrine of necessity, now that the presidential election basically is about 360 days away, the party needs to sit up. This is a party that came together in 2013 to constitute a strong opposition to a sitting government that planned to rule for many years. And so if APC fails to learn from the success of 2015, it should be the biggest shame of the millennium. So I expect that right now they should start coming together. And like Barrister Abdulhammed brilliantly mentioned, we need to consult widely. But going to precedent, there was a similar scenario towards getting the second term. There were crises in the party, and I recall at that point in time, the president had to bring in Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and some party stalwarts to go and reconcile. And I can let you know it's easy to reconcile when elections are coming. So what is difficult is coming together to collaborate, to deliver on the dividends of democracy, particularly when you escalated the expectations of the people and made specific promises. And this time around again, there are still issues to resolve. Now, chairmanship is zoned to the north, presidency to the south. We have about 3 geopolitical zones in the south. We have the south-south, the southeast, the southwest. So how do we now determine who gets it? Is it southeast, southwest, or south-south? And these are the several issues. But when it comes to electioneering processes, parties wake up. I think where the gap is when it comes to delivering good governance to the people. And I keep advising that is the best approach. When you deliver on good governance, you don't struggle to occupy the space. In fact, sometimes when your time is over, people may come and say, you have done so well, continue. But I expect to see a lot of consultations right now, and it's a good thing that they have fixed March 26 for the National Convention. And I just want to advise again that there is a need for this party to synchronize. In 2013, a splinter of ABGA, CPC, ACN, New PDP, some of them came together to form the party. And in the course of the journey, we have not seen evidence of collaboration, and we need that to strengthen the party. And right now, given the profile in terms of public opinion, the party has to really work hard, and particularly when there's a third force coming from the background now. But what Nigerians deserve is good governance, and we keep looking forward to that, irrespective of the party that delivers that. So let all the parties learn now that when you are given the privilege to serve, it will terminate one day. It's only God that won't leave office. So I think that's where we are now.
It's only God that won't leave office. All right, that's really interesting. Now, Tunji, the point there is, now that things are becoming clearer, party they've agreed, presidency go to the south, chairmanship go to the north. Now, the office of the president is very central to all of these and all of that. Now it's coming to the south. What kind of micro-zoning or kinds of meeting and consultation would you expect southern politicians to begin to look at as a way of trying to, because like you mentioned, there are 3 zones in the south. It's a zone to the south, so there are 3 zones in the south, geopolitical zones. How do you determine who gets what, as the case may be? What should they be looking at?
They should be looking at the zone that can produce a quality candidate, the zone that can produce who delivers.
One would say all zones have quality candidates.
You know, this issue is a party affair, and it's their choice to either bring somebody that will make them win election or lose election. This is their choice. So, but if the credit is not over yet. If you are talking about because they've sown to south, and like I said again, I repeat again, this is not a general decision. The decision of just a few a caucus, not even few, just a caucus of the governors and the presidency or whatever. Those are the caucus, and they are not the only party. They are members of the party. They are not the only stakeholders who can determine it. So there are still games ahead. So we need to sit down. But like I said, the issue of zoning, on party issues, yes, they can zone to have adequate representation. But for national issues, I don't believe in zoning. Every zone has you look for people who can deliver us from where we are today, because we are in critical condition as it is today. As far as I'm concerned, the situation of this country is not palatable, and then we need somebody that can think ahead, that can plan well, that has intelligence and integrity, and that has good character and good ethics to be able to take care of us. If you are talking about zoning, the South have been clamoring for the president to come to them. Now they will say South. If they say South, is it Southeast? Is it South-South? Is this Southwest? That's another issue. How are they going to agree on that? Is their own... but like I said, if they are looking at who come from either the Southeast, Southwest, or whatever, they should look at somebody that has a competence, that has a capacity, not just because is from the South-South or is from the Southeast or Southwest. That's what I think. So quality and capacity is what I think should determine who will form will be given the ticket.
All right, Jide, if I have to stand on the point he just made, this issue of we need to look for a quality candidate, somebody who has capacity, somebody who has vision, somebody who has all of those. How do you really determine someone who has all of that when it is the party program that anybody is coming to, implement or execute for the people? And it is not just your idea, it is the collection of what the party decides and what the party wants and so on. But how do we balance the issue of quality candidates?
It comes to the values held by the party. So if the party wants to be relevant and move the country back to the rail of prosperity, then you look for a transformational leader. When we talk about leadership, the president is very crucial because he is the presiding officer. We have the MDAs, ministry, departments, and agencies. We have, different agencies supporting the government. But vision is important. Permit me to use the example of Singapore. Lee Kuan Yew came as the leader, and he had a team of leaders to help him deliver on a vision. And what was that vision? To reposition Singapore that left Malaysia in 1965. And he succeeded in doing that. From little prosperity to prominent prosperity, that today Singapore is one of the best places to live and to work in the world. And permit me also to go to the UAE. Sheikh Zayed remains the founding father of the modern UAE. He had a vision of translating a desert to paradise. And people supported him. And he did not derail. He had challenges. In fact, at the time, the foreign powers were telling him, you cannot succeed in the agricultural project. And he called his people that is their report. But let's see what we can achieve. I mean, I watched a documentary on him. So Leadership is critical. I keep saying it. If there is a leader who wants security in Nigeria, in 9 months, it can be achieved. Permit me to come to Africa. Look at Rwanda. Rwanda was in a big mess. And Paul Kagame had the opportunity of leading Rwanda. And today, Rwanda is one of the fastest growing economies in Africa. You see, we may also look at Ghana. Look at the things going on in Ghana. So it's not just about occupying the office. And I quite agree with Barrister Abdulhammed. So, and in public relations, we say that every campaign starts with research, continuous research. When you conclude it, you also evaluate. So can you look at the promises you made? How did you deliver on them? Where do we go from here? Where should Nigeria be? And look for a leader that can champion this. It's just like in an aircraft flight. You don't just have a pilot to fly the aircraft. You have, engineers there, and just to ensure that you have a safe trip. And I keep saying it, that Nigeria has capacity. But there is a difference between a transactional and transformational leader. And I think I have been able to convince you this morning that the transformation of Nigeria is a possibility. And please, we should be tired of politics by now. Countries are moving forward. I mean, we read these things. Why should you be taking your children to school abroad? ASU is, threatening to remain on strike. And so little things. Give us electricity. Empower the people. Make the refineries work. If the government cannot handle it, push it to the private sector. Enable them with brilliant policies. The tax regime that we encourage. You see, what Lee Kuan Yew did in Singapore was to create local prosperity and friendly environment that attracted foreign prosperity. So that region is in an autopilot of prosperity. We deserve more in Nigeria. We have the resources. So on that note, I agree with my my colleague.
And you've succeeded in convincing us.
Exactly.
You can have everything you have mentioned.
Transformational leader.
You can
right.
keep
We
all the
recommend that to the
mentioned.
party.
If only you allow people with intelligence and capacity to come into office.
And
And
it's
people
not
that
up to them to identify
philosophical
to people
There are brilliant Nigerians.
you call talks.
All right. The point there is, we had the opportunity of Lee Kuan Yew and Sheikh Zayed, like you said, because the point there is, ability to achieve that also has to do with the form of leadership that is in the country. The point there is, if you have, under the military, although military is not, acceptable or standard way of leadership or democracy, we talk about democracy, but then at that time where you have absolute powers to champion the cause of the country towards a certain direction, and we didn't.
You don't need military.
No.
Look at this guy in Tanzania, Magufuli, of blessed memory. He ran within a democratic setting.
Yeah.
And he transformed the system and the value system.
All right.
We are a country where
we have to leave
our
here
president is seen as the alpha and omega, and the people respect him. So if you have a leader who has a vision and who has people who work with him,
All
and
right.
they will
So
get
everything
it.
is achievable then.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Tunji Abdulhammed, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And Jide Ologun, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you
God
for
bless
convincing
Nigeria.
us.